We always love taking loans, but when it comes to repayment, we get problems. Not at times because we don't want to pay, but certain problems are inevitable because of the little education that we have about debt repayment. Now, tonight, or this evening, this morning, depending on where you are, on the Smart Money Hub, we are going to talk about debt repayment, but not before we recap what we saw at the start of this series. My name is Webb Daniel. This is the Smart Money Hub. I am joined again by Mr. Smart Money himself, the financial expert, Mr. Sodi Godfrey.
Happy to be here.
Great. Always good to have you. Let's recap for them what we spoke about the last time.
Of course, last time we talked about responsible borrowing. Yeah, we said borrow only what you need, understand the loan terms, look at the monthly installment. Can you manage it? Don't borrow to finance your day-to-day lifestyle. Shop around and see which is the best loan for you. Read the agreements very carefully. Go to credit counselors and also start embracing the credit card so that you can discipline yourself in when you as you borrow.
Amazing, you've got that. Now let's get proper into today, and what we are going to discuss is now this for me is the real deal, the gist of the whole process of loan taking. Guys, debt repayment techniques and strategies are not obvious things, Mr. Kasozi.
Yeah.
There is quite a number of them.
Yes, there is quite a lot that you have to do. But let us go step by step. Number one, if you want to pay quite well, you have to master at least a few techniques. Number one, do a budget. Actually, the budget, you are supposed to even do it before you actually borrow. But let us start with that. Do a budget. What do we mean by a budget? A budget is a simple thing. Look at your incomes. How much do I earn? Then look at your expenditures and do it for a month. How much do I earn? How much do I spend in the month? That amount, the balance after your income and expenditure, which other people call profit, other people call it surplus. That is the amount you are to use to repay the loan or the loans if you have several. So that is budgeting. After looking at your budget, then start practicing the techniques. There are some very academic techniques. Let me mention them a little bit, but they might not be so viable. We call them, there is a snowball technique, then there is avalanche. These are quite academic. Snowball, people look at the smallest amount of loan they have amongst the several loans.
So that's for people who have multiple loans.
Multiple loans, which sometimes we discourage because it's the one that puts people into problems. Snowball, people look at the smallest loans amongst your loans and you pay those off very fast. Then the avalanche method, you look at the loans with the highest interest rates and they are the ones you try to pay off fast. But it is quite academic, a little bit confusing, but whatever strategy you want to use and technique, let us go through step by step the disciplines. You have done your budget, you have decided what kind of technique you are going to use to pay your loan. Prioritize loan repayment. What do I mean by prioritize loan repayment?
Do you mean I should pay my loan before I pay the landlord for rent?
No, put it amongst your priorities. Food is a priority at home. All those expenses include loan repayment. One thing we usually do, one mistake we usually do, is that we don't even put it anywhere amongst the priorities of the month.
It's a by the way.
It is a by the way. That's why we skip and forget it. Make loan repayment a priority so that it really demands on you. After that, stick to the repayment schedule that you have put up. That synchronizes even with your repayment schedule, which your lender gave you. Stick to it. When you stick to it, you will have minimized the problems. Then, at some point, try to also reduce some expenditures. Not all expenditures are cast in stone. Yesterday, we were talking about budget. I was talking about with someone. As you do the budget, someone was shocked as he was doing the budget to see some very, very outrageous expenditures. I don't know whether I should name it. It is to do with alcohol. People don't want to talk about alcohol.
Yet they consume
Yet
it.
they
Like their lives
consume it.
depend on it.
Yeah, this gentleman was drawing the budget because I told him first to do a budget. As he drew the budget, he said, yeah, beers, I take around 4 beers a day. If I multiply that by 30 in a month, I come to 600,000. Then he said, oh, what? 600,000? He got shocked himself. He had never made the budget, but you see, the budget opens you up. And when you see that 600,000, and some people don't even have it for a salary, and you're just drinking it, you might want to reduce that expenditure. If you slash it into half, you will save a 300,000,
which you can add on your loan.
On your loan. So try to reduce expenditures. Then continue saving. When you continue saving, there is a way it helps you in loan repayment. Do you know how? Some people experiment on these things that we tell people. Do you know this small box, the savings box, where people slot coins, slot 1,000s? Once in a while, if a Chizike brings itself by, you can also slot it in. Do you know that at the end of the month, if you open that box, you might find that you don't even need to pick money from elsewhere. The money that is in the box after 1 month is even enough to pay a loan installment. People are struggling with loan installments of 100,000, 150,000, 350,000.
Yet they have that excess money that they keep getting, but some don't save it.
But people don't save it. So keep on those savings. Then throw in some excesses onto the loan. So somehow it relieves you. You might even need to skip a whole month because you have really thrown in. When you get some excess money, it is similar to savings. You have already paid your installment. You're already comfortable. These excesses that come in, throw them onto the loan. It is a good loan repayment technique. Then minimize as much as possible going into new loans, new debt. There is a way it accumulates. And how do you minimize that? Do you remember in our earlier episodes? Those things that we can avoid. Restrain yourself. Don't go for a loan because someone has been locked up in prison. Don't go for a loan because try to minimize them, and it will be a very good thing. Then digital repayment methods. Try to embrace them. There is a way they make
that's phone by digital. I mean using paying with your phone.
Pay with your phone. Pay with your phone. Especially, I like referring to SACCOs because banks are already there. But I like referring to SACCOs also. SACCOs these days have merchant code payments. You can throw there 20,000. You can throw there 10,000 with your phone. You don't have to wait for the month to elapse. There is a way that digital repayment really relieves a little bit.
Now, if all this is done and it's possible, Mr. Kasozi, that you can do all the things you said, but still you're overwhelmed.
If you're overwhelmed, sometimes it is because you have not done certain things that we have been talked about, but you never know. If the loan, there is a local where we say it, if it sits into you and you really feel that that you are almost getting defeated, go back to your lender. Go back to your circle, go back to your bank, tell them, you know, guys, it seems I have reached a dead end. I'm feeling I am almost failing. Can we? They have options. They have options that they can give you to relieve you a bit. Especially circles have really good options. You might even have multiple loans in other areas. If you reveal them, the circle can even decide to pay them off for you and consolidate them into one loan and give you a new term. So if you feel things are tough, don't go into hiding, don't bury yourself. You will get stressed, you will get all sorts of mental problems. Go back. The problem with that is that in places where, I'm encouraging people to get financial cards. In places where you have financial cards, when you go for those compromise settlings, there is a way they score badly
on your card.
Scorecard. So do those as last resort when you go for those new arrangements. There is a way they impact badly on your card.
Amazing stuff. Thank you. This is the gist of it for me. But this is the point, Mr. Soz, because our time is fast spent. This is where, in a minute, you give us our parting shot, because I think that's enough. Take home for today.
Oh, that's enough for today. And of course, I said our closing note is not necessarily related to the topic, but it is a money generation thing. And we are still in a sequence of local chicken. We are still going on with local chicken. Last time we were talking about, I think I talked about the hen sitting on the eggs. You bring them back after, and the hen sits on them. There's one thing we left out last time, is that as you remove one egg to keep it away, to motivate the chicken, the hen, to lay more, wherever you are keeping them, keep them in a cool place, but also in the right way. Experts have told us, the egg has one sharp end, an end which is sharper than the other, and another one which is a little big. This one, which has a small surface area, should face down as you are keeping them. So if you are keeping them in a tray, keep the pointed end down so that this other bulgy end is up. In that way, the experts tell us that the egg will remain with its life, its proper life. So keep them in that format. After keeping them, and
so that's in the tray. You don't just dump in the tray.
Don't just dump. Don't just put the stomach.
One of the oval ends is sharper than the other. So the sharper one should be the one
facing down.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Then, as we said, when you see she is starting to brood, she wants to sit on them, bring them back, give them to her. Then here we have something to do with the numbers. Give her around 10 to 15, not so many. More she might surprise you and lay quite very many. The ideal number is between 10 and 15. Not more than that. The balance, you can eat. Eggs are good for your health, for your kids' health, or you can sell. When you sell them, they help you subsidize on some little feeds that you give the local chicken. After hatching, please be sure to vaccinate. Even for local chicken, you have to vaccinate, because everything in agriculture today is to do with treatment. If you try to avoid that, then you are trying to go the Mukama Nayamba way, which has proven not to be very effective.
Thank you so much, Mr. Gasozi. This is the Smart Money Hub. I've learned something new when it comes to eggs. For me, I thought you just drop them in the tray and that's it. But it's right here that you get to learn. Learning never stops. Subscribe, like, share. Cheers.